Hello everybody, hopefully you can hear me. I am currently, as you can see, playing Elite Dangerous, and I am doing exploration. They've made a huge number of updates to the way exploration works in the most recent upgrade that came out this week, and so I'm headed out into deep space for some exploration. Looking for terraformable planets, Earth-like planets, strange anomalies. They've added all sorts of neat stuff. My previous deep space trip, where I went all the way out as far as to the rim of space, the outer rim, as I could, before I couldn't jump any farther because there was nowhere further to jump. On my way back, I ended up accidentally destroying my ship and lost all of my exploration data. Luckily, I had bookmarked the most interesting sites that were out there. I bookmarked all of the Earth-like planets and all of the terraformable planets and the Waterworlds. I had actually bookmarked them all, and my bookmarks survived. So I know where those really valuable and interesting locations are. I just have to fly all the way back out there. Oh, there's actually stuff here. Oh, good lord. Not yet. I haven't shipped stuff yet this week. I'm hoping to do shipping on Monday. Oh, there's more stuff out here? Ugh. Yeah, places. Good lord. Watch my most recent fan mail video. I talk about Jared's epic nerf battle. Lord, there's more? I scanned all of you. Apparently not. So for those of you wondering what on earth I'm currently doing in the game, I am exploring. The way they changed it, you don't have to do quite as much flying around in new systems. What is up with my joystick? Oh, that's come loose. Okay. Now you can scan things from further away, but it requires what I'm doing now, which is a bit more active. Oh, what do we got here? So there are 3 more things in this system I still need to scan. There's 1. There's all this clusters. Anything else around the orbit of this star? There's still some over there. Oh, there it is. One more planet. All right. Now, if I ever make it back to human inhabited space, there'll be yet another system with my name on it. On to the next system. When's the video on the new Modulus long strike coming out? I don't have the new Modulus long strike, so how would I do a video on it? I do need a nice axe. Beard clamps I have. Kind of. Oh, what did we find? Oh, they're all stars. Okay. Next. So here's where I am in space. This is human populated space over here, which is really a very small area of space. I am currently headed north of the galactic disk, as it were. I'm trying to get up above into the less explored areas, though you still run into a lot of places this close to human space that have been explored. But I'm heading out to this line of bookmarks, which are all the inhabit or terraformable or water worlds or Earth-like worlds that I found way out here. But I'm going to travel up a bit and then come down at them and then travel out. And I'm ultimately headed for the rim. My ship has a better jump range than it did the last time I was out here, so I might be able to get a little bit further out. Problem is, once you get out to this area, there are so few stars. It becomes hard to jump any further. And you run the risk of getting trapped. Eventually, I want to make a trip to the core. Someday. Here to these clusters of stars. But it's a long trip to Sagittarius A, so I'm coming out here to the rim for now. It is 10:07 here on the west coast. No, I did not go to the Burst War. I was tired. I ended up taking a nap. Why would an air museum have tanks in the first place? But that is sad. Tanks are cool. Yes, PM. Oh. Well. Ooh, hold on. Let's go a little bit further away from the star so we don't cook. There we go. Okay. Now I can throttle it. I have not yet. At the very least, I'm going to rewire it for 3S, just so it'll have a higher rate of fire and more power. But I haven't decided much beyond that yet. Tyr. I definitely take Tyr to Jared's Epic Nerf Battle. Ire is for killing zombies, not shooting people. Hi. Tyr is head and shoulders over a stock Prometheus. It's got, what, 10 times the ammo capacity? and considerably higher rate of fire. The Prometheus is more, easily used. You can put it down easier and all of that, but alright, that is everything in this system. Move on to the next. Yeah, ire is, darts come out of the end, but it isn't, I haven't modded it to the level of being what you would call war practical, as it were. As far as range and all of that, it's definitely below the level that most people have their flywheel blasters at, and it's below the level that it could be. You could get a Stampede to be much more powerful than ire is. The reason I never have is because I built it for playing in HVZ, where most of the game is played at point-blank range. So I don't want it to hit any harder because it would hurt people, or it just wouldn't be allowed. Whereas at the amount of power I have right now, it works pretty good. Interesting. Oh, right. It wouldn't be particularly difficult at all. I put a Punisher barrel on my Prometheus, the same barrel, the barrel that used to be on tier before I got the better one from RE Armory. But getting it on there, making it rotate wouldn't be particularly difficult. I didn't bother to try to make it rotate on mine. I am decidedly not yet ready for the Yule holidays. I haven't even started my Christmas shopping. Yeah, definitely going to be a big one in here. There it is, yep. No, unfortunately, Elite Dangerous, as far as I know, does not yet have any kind of multiple monitor support. I mean, if I stretched my desktop across multiple ones as one continuous desktop, then yes. What I really wish you could do is that there are, side panels within your spaceship that show you various information. I wish I could export those to other screens. That would be what would be really useful for me. Okay, that's that cluster dealt with. another big one. What's your story? Oh, there's more there. Okay. There's this too. Oh yeah, I need to add those links to your channel. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Alright, we have discovered everything in this system. On to the next one. Oh, I reached the end of my... Oh! This is as far as I have charted. Now we can start the longer journey. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to travel to above it along the upper edge of the disk because it tends to be less explored. And then I'll drop down into it and head forth. Everything in between along this route is generally going to be fairly well explored because there are nebula. There's the Jellyfish Nebula and the Monkey Head Nebula, and people like traveling to and exploring the nebulas, which is what I did the first time. I took the straight route, went through both of those, and then just kept going. But pretty much everything between where our human space and those nebulas is going to be explored. So I'm going across the top, and then I'll drop down into it. So should be interesting up here. And here we go. The point of this game, as with most games, is to have fun. There are a lot of different aspects of this game. You can be a trader, you can be a explorer, you can be a merchant, you can be a bounty hunter, you can be a pirate, you can be a soldier. You can help fight the aliens that are invading. There are lots and lots of different aspects of this game, and you can do all of them. There's nothing preventing you from doing them all. Right now, I'm exploring space. I'm traveling to places that no one has ever been to before, and discovering new planets and looking for interesting space anomalies and that. This is a game called Elite Dangerous, and it is a lot of fun. I'm currently in the ASP Explorer. For me, stimulation sickness it feels like motion sickness. Nausea, headache, feels like I'm going to throw up. Cold sweat, very unpleasant. Do not have that problem with space sims like Elite Dangerous, so that is really, really nice. Let's get away from the star before we cook. Well, it's a multiplayer online game, basically. So the galaxy itself is stored on servers. It's not on your local game. You can only play online. There is no offline version. You don't have to play with other players, though. There is an open play, a solo play, as well as private group play, where you can either play with just you and the NPCs, play with everyone who's logged into open play, or just you and whoever you invite to your private group. Nope, can't say that I ever played any games called X. Well, the Rampage is direct plunger, so it's decidedly more powerful. The deploy is more fun. If you're a fan of yellow, then the deploy is obviously the better option. No, they couldn't. I'm in solo mode. So even if you knew where I was, if you flew all the way out here, you wouldn't be able to see me because I'm not in open play. Because of people like you. Whoa. Whole bunch of stuff out here. Don't give me that. I've made my stance on Stravens very clear many times. I consider them to be a heresy. But I've seen some ones that are very well done, but I just don't see the point in that particular one. I mean, if what you're looking for is a stock that can hold a magazine, there are much better options that don't involve destroying a Raven. But I also knew someone who their Raven was broken. It was sent to them and was damaged really beyond repair. The front half of the shell was completely thrashed. So they decided to make a Straven out of it, and that's perfectly fine. That's not killing a Straven to make or a Raven to make a stock. That's giving a dead Raven a new life. Ultimately, it's your blaster. You can do whatever you want with it. What about a Raider? Gotta be something. There we go. Okay, got that cluster done. I have not. It's on the list of things to repair. Will probably get looked at during the next diagnostic and repair video, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Does this look like a console controller to you? 5 more somethings. Oh, there they are. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be possible to put 4 flywheels in a Modulus. Alright. System fully scanned. Good night, Wolfpac Nerf. Can you rank the Vortex blasters? Like Private, Corporal, Sergeant, Lieutenant, Captain, Major, Colonel, General? Yeah, I always liked the look of the Modulus 2. It was even more angular and symmetrical than the Strife, and I liked that. Just didn't like the color. But, you know, that's easily dealt with. Oh good, another undiscovered system. Cool. Top up my fuel tank. Walcomm's not here. Is he behind me? Did he sneak in on me? No, I have not done anything with the Captain America shields recently. Oh, yeah. Is that everything? That's everything. I think it means that the Vortex discs travel slow enough that you can block them with a lightsaber. Which is true. Vortex rounds fly slowly, but they fly for a long time. And if you get really good at them, you can actually get them to bank around cover and shoot around corners, and you can have a lot of fun with them. Don't believe this is an undiscovered system. It is not. There is one undiscovered star here, apparently. Greatest find at Goodwill? Probably the Ultimator. We found an Ultimator and a Bazooka on the same day, and Walcom made off with them both. And went forth to do awesome, awesome things with them. Sure, I'll take springs. Springs are always fun. I may never find a use for it, but I'll take it. What inspired my color scheme? Laziness. Laziness. I wanted to paint my blasters. I had the black tactical gear. So, well, really, actually, where it started was I bought my first barrel break, and I was hoping it would be the yellow one, because I had the Stampede, which was yellow. I had a Barricade that was yellow. I was going for an all-yellow blaster loadout, because Elite Blasters hadn't come out yet, so there was not much in the way of blue. Well, there were some, obviously, the Long Shot and the Raider, but I didn't use either of those. But when I got it, it was the Sonic Green one. So I painted it. And just because I was lazy, I just painted it black. But left all the orange bits orange for, you know, safety reasons. And then just decided to make all my stuff black and orange, because it was just easier. And then, of course, I discovered that the Gear Up line existed, and there was stuff that was already in that color, and now there's AccuStrike stuff in that color, and it's handy. Huh. That's all that's in the system. How boring. On to the next. I doubt you would ever be able to get that many Vortex discs going at once, because they're not very big. That would be neat, though, if you could somehow make a launcher that just fired a wall of Vortex discs. If nothing else, people would have to take cover. They wouldn't be able to shoot back at you. Ah, here we go. Here's an undiscovered system. Anything interesting? Yes, there is stuff in this system. There, what do we got? Well, first we gotta find the orbit. There we go. Aha! Metal. Metal. No, I have yet to get a hold of a holster. I would like one. They are shiny. Not sure what all I would use it for. I'm not sure if I would use it for the Chronos. Because Chronoses fit nicely enough in regular holsters. I'd be more tempted to try to use it for something that didn't regularly take a holster. Ow. Belt cluster. Yep, last time I was space trucking, now I am exploring. I am deep in undiscovered space, finding places no one has ever been before. Eventually I will land on one of these small planets that no one's ever been to before and do some mining or prospecting just for fun. A discovery has been made, huh? High metal content with an atmosphere. That's different. Okay, 5 more something's out there somewhere. Oh, right. Why the hell have I zoomed out? Looks like I need to circle the star a little. No, Vortex discs don't work well with air power because they're such an irregular shape. It's really hard to get any kind of a seal on them. Unlike darts, which are, you know, round on at least one axis, and rival rounds that are round in every axis. Vortex discs. Oh! Sweet! Found a Waterworld. Terraformable. Yes, that's what we're here to find. These kinds of worlds. They're worth the most for exploration. For money, anyway. Now I know where they fall in the spectrum. That's useful. Make it easier to spot them. Alright, looks like there's one more out there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Alright. Yeah, I actually do want to get some of the... Stop it. Behave yourself. Some of the Overwatch blasters just because they look really neat cosmetically. Is this it? Yeah, here's the Waterworld. What did we find? Terrestrial Waterworld with an active water-based chemistry and carbon-based life. This body is a candidate for terraforming. This planet has not been mapped, so we're going to go take a closer look. I can't land on the Waterworld, unfortunately. You can't land on any planet that has an atmosphere yet. But I could probably land on its moon. Stick a flag in. can overshoot. If you spend about, oh geez, about a minute looking at my videos, it's fairly easy to work out that Monday Mod Tips comes out every other Monday, Friday Fan Mail comes out every other Friday, K26 comes out every other Wednesday, and then fill in the gaps. Here is the world that I have discovered. Isn't it lovely? Now, I have to figure out how to use the surface scanner. Blam! I don't know that this actually works. It does! I just don't remember how. I'm also way too close. Good night. Carve your symbol in the moon with my weaponry. Technically, I probably can do that. I can also land on and drive my rover around, but it'd be kind of hard to actually get my logo carved. All right, let's shoot this thing with probes. Aha! Surface scan complete. Stop it. All right. Wrong button. All right. I do want to bookmark this planet. And then, is that one? Oh, it's not landable. I cannot, in fact, land on its moon. Oh, well. Alright! We found a Waterworld. That it was what it is all about. How is my Lego Advent Calendar going? Well, check out my Instagram. I'm up to 15, because it's the 15th. Which is how that works. Well, with the numbers. No flag, no country. Those are the rules that I've just made up. I'm backing it up with this gun I borrowed from the National Rifle Association. Oh, there's probably some alien version of Kevin Costner bumming it around on that Waterworld. But we didn't meet. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything interesting here. Icy body. Yeah. I'll probably eventually get a Hypnos, just because they'll eventually show up. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Especially if I ever end up, living closer to Hillsborough. I like it. I have thoroughly gotten into undiscovered country now, as I haven't run into a system that had been discovered in a while, so definitely took the right route. They're all around this star. Oh, what is this little guy? High Metal World. Was very good bacon, sir. Alright. On to the next system. We're on space are we? Currently on the corner of no and where? Excellent. Hopefully they'll invite us back. And hopefully we'll get to do more at other places. Well, if you're at the lower ranks of the Imperium, probably upper ranks, they probably eat pretty good. I think so. I talked to somebody. I don't remember who or when or about what. Life's a blur. Ah. There's nothing in this system. Jump. Good luck. Hello, Robbie. I'm in space. Well, there's at least 2 stars here this time. And that is definitely a cluster of planets. Well, cluster. No, pretty sure at that point you're not murdering them, you're just fighting them. Assuming you're on, you know, the side that they're hired to fight against, or for anyway. Or against, yeah, against words. I have a letter of marque, actually, from a dead king. Is there more here? I don't think so. Okay. So I'm betting that. Yep. There's the gas giant. Alright. Another system fully scanned. This raid is going to take me forever to get where I'm going, because I've got 96 jumps, and they're probably all going to be unexplored. You know, I've lost interest in Star Citizen. I was all gung-ho about it 5 or 6 years ago, or whenever it first got announced. And now I'm so deep into Elite Dangerous, I don't have any desire to start up a new game, so probably not. Alright. Well, I get to skip this one at least. No, all NPCs have to be approved by plot, by Pete. You can't just show up and play an NPC. You have to. It has to be part of the official game. So you can ask him, you know, if he has an NPC he's interested in having run or what. But unless he has approved it, no, you have to play as a regular player. Oh, hey. This is discovered territory. Who beat me here? Who dares? OJ the Third, huh? Okay. Oh, wrong button. Or not? Oof. Well, I found where everything was. They're pretty good. Having fun. Exploring space. So far I found one noteworthy planet. All the rest have been boring rocky worlds or ice planets, or a couple of high metal ones, which are good for resource extraction if you want to get into that, but is water worth anything where? Yeah, you can trade water, but it's not exactly a high value commodity because there's planets of it all over the place. There we go. Another system fully explored. The pointy things are kind of indicating which direction you need to scan and what kind of planet it is, and I don't understand all of it entirely, but I know that if I move the thing back and forth until the rings line up, then I can scan the planet and move on with my life. The status of the reserve? What reserve? I would hope anybody who proselytizes the spaghetti monster would have been taken out and murdered and had their stuff looted by now. But then Cthulhu was a thing, and people tried to bring him back, and did, if I understand correctly, and then they all died. Which is hilarious. What do we... That's an interesting cluster. Are you referring to, like, my own private root beer reserves, or what? Yeah, are you talking about the auxiliary? Because that's something else entirely. Still working out the details with my officer corps on how we want to run it, what we want to use for heraldry, what we want to use for, I guess you would say, requirements for membership, expectations for membership, what our responsibilities are to members, all of that. Once we get all of those details ironed out, then I will do a video on it and explain it and create a, probably create a Facebook group for it and post the heraldry so people know what to create and all of that. Start creating training guides, and it should be a lot of fun. No, there is actually both a PS4 and an Xbox version, but as far as I know, they're not cross-platform. I don't think. So whichever one you're on, that's the one you have to play. If you want to play on the same servers that I'm playing, then you'll need a PC, yeah. Alright. Another system explored. Oh, need to repair my cargo hatch. I have a very, very ambitious Lego Technic project that I've been working on for many, many years. And when I have enough room to pull it out and work on it again, I will I don't know when that will happen, of course. Is this that same OJ guy out here? No? Yep, OJ. Apparently he can't be bothered to scan the whole system, though. Wrong button. Yeah, weird. Oh, you're the big one. Okay. The Nerf Raucus? I'm not even familiar with it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I saw a picture of it. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, that is a weird looking gas giant. Yeah, it's not a terribly system intense game because 99% of what's on your screen is usually just black space. So it doesn't take that much. Plus, yeah, it's a fairly old game, though they do keep adding stuff, but even then, it's not a first person shooter, so there's a lot less rendering that needs to take place. Yeah, there will be auxiliary patches. I don't know if I'll be making them or if I'll outsource them or if I'll just send you guys the patterns and have you make your own. I would like to design something that could be made and sold just for, fundraising purposes. Haven't been paying attention. Need to refuel. Be ashamed to run out of fuel all the way out here. I have to call for the fuel rats. Generally, I'm only jumping into systems that I can refuel in, but every once in a while it dumps me in on a Towery star system that you can't refuel off of. Get away from the star before I cook. Oh, that? No, that's wrong spectrum. Belt cluster. There we go. No, you can't actually run into a star. If you get too close, your frameshift drive automatically shuts down. If you get close enough, you will overheat, and that can damage your ship to the point of being destroyed. But you have to really not be paying attention for that to happen. Alright, one more, there it is. Alright, that's the system mapped. Where? Let's give a little fuel. And on to the next system. Yes. No, not Thrustmaster. I have Cytec. Cytec X52 Pro for the flight stick and primary joystick, and then Cytec Cyborg 3D Golds for the two secondaries. Dang it, I have to go around the star. Yes, but to be fair, you are Lunatic Fringe. I might. I'm mildly tempted to go ahead and put Metal Gears in just for longevity. I don't have a heavy enough spring load that it really needs it. I would like to redo the wiring and a lot of the electronics, probably upgrade her to actually running on a LiPo. Redo some of the switches. Probably try to simplify the electronics. Because right now, there's a lot of different circuits because there's a lot of different electronics that needed a lot of different voltages. And I'd love to be able to simplify that. Yes, I'm aware. Ire currently runs on 16 volts. So unless I went with a 4S LiPo, if I went with a 3S LiPo, it would be a downgrade. The difference would be there'd be more current, and so it might still be able to operate on the spring load that I have in it. But it's entirely possible I'll actually need to increase the voltage, which... This is Elite Dangerous, as the title of the video would suggest. Just the two. Here we go. Undiscovered system. There we go. No, haven't considered making a mafia-type NPC. That would be kind of fun. Especially once they have the multiple cities. Went around as, you know, some guy named Vinny running protection rackets on the cities. Like, yeah, it's a nice city you got here. Shame if someone would have set fire to it. Yeah, right, here we go. Now we got a fun one to scan. Alright, nothing particularly exciting. On to the next system. Yes, it's an X52 Pro and then Cytec Cyborg Golds for the secondaries. Marty, haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Oh, another fresh system. Oh-ho! Let's pick up some fuel, and then there's a lot of stuff out here in this one. That'll be the gas giant, and now we look at its moons. Oh, there's more there. Ah. Good night. There's the gas giant. That's the last one in the system. Nothing but moons left. It's probably all his moons. Come on. There we go. Alright. That's the system. On to the next. No, I haven't. I've still got the superhero sets I need to build and the Master Builder one. I'm really looking forward to the Master Builder one. That really looks like a lot of fun. That is the absolute beauty of Nerf thrifting, is it's different every time you go in. You never know what you're going to find. Whereas, you know what you're going to find if you go to Walmart or Target, and you know how much it's going to cost. But thrifting is an adventure. I remember the day when 50,000K was a lot. Now my trade runs net me usually 3 million per round trip. Now you can see my my current balance. Alright, what do we got here? This will be a gas giant. Gas giant with no moons. Ooh. Come on, don't be like that. Kill me, Smalls. And the last one. Mostly I spend my money on spaceships. We are currently, me and a friend of mine, who are both, he's further in the game than I am. He has many billions of credits. We're saving up for when the fleet carriers become available. Unfortunately, they got delayed. They were supposed to be in the upgrade that came out earlier this week, but they weren't. So we're going to have to wait for them to come out in the next series, or the next update, hopefully. And we have no idea how much they're going to cost. It could be $500 million, it could be $1 billion, it could be $10 billion. We no idea what the price range is going to be on that. So we've just been making as much money as we possibly can in the hopes that we'll have enough or at least be close when the time comes. Yes, you make money by selling the data you have to the universal cartographers. I missed it. Was there anything in this system? Yes, okay. There are certain things that are worth more. Terraformable planets, water worlds, Earth-like planets, anything that can be colonized is worth the most, as well as rare anomalies, black holes, and strange things in space are worth more money because they're interesting. Oh, that might be... Yes! Speaking of finding water worlds, there's a water world. Which we're going to go take a look at. And bookmark. You can't. You cannot currently land on planets that have an atmosphere. You can land on planets that don't have atmospheres. So smaller rocky moons and things like that, you can land and cruise around on a dune buggy. But you cannot yet land on anything that has an atmosphere. So you can't land on any of the Earth-like worlds. You can just fly near them. If you try to get too close, your ship drops out of hypercruise and just won't let you go any further. Oh, not close enough yet. This button? Oh. Might help if I hit the right button. The safety button on mine is frameshift drive. There we go. The planet is scanned. Alright, let's see what else is out there. What's that? Candidate for terraforming. Planet has been mapped. Pristine reserves. Carbon-based life. No volcanism. Cool. Alright. On to the next system. There's some fairly large-scale battles, like they actually do have wars. Civil wars will break out, but within systems, and you'll have capital ships and hundreds of fighters. They've changed it since the next update, and I haven't been to a war zone since the latest update. Apparently, there are now objectives where attack this squadron or destroy this capital ship or hold this location. I assume. I actually, like I said, haven't done it since the upgrade. But they can be fairly intense, especially when capital ships start dropping in, because, quite frankly, when a capital ship drops out of hyperspace, space tears. And it sounds like it. It's terrifying when they come ripping into real space. There's the giant. We look at his moons. Oh, interesting. An icy body with rings. Gas giant. Moons for days. Come on. There we go. At least one more. There he is. Whoa. Same general principle. I don't know that you actually can get sucked into a black hole. Your ship will shut itself down before you get close enough. But you can get damaged and destroyed by one. I have jumped in on them, and they're kind of terrifying. You can tell you're about to jump into a black hole, even when you're in hyperspace, because space gets wibbly. And then you jump in, and nothing looks right. Because everything's getting warped. Let's scan the system. There's our gas giant. Now we look for moons. I don't know. I used to try to play at least for a couple hour or an hour or so every day just to do trade runs to work towards our goal of having enough money to buy a carrier when they come out. But I've been too busy with too many other things to keep that schedule, so I don't really have a regular or exact schedule for when or how often I play anymore. Must be another large cluster out here somewhere. Oh, there they are. really, at this point, I'm not looking for anything in particular. I scan every system I go into, at least for the basic planets. Now, for detailed surface scans, what I'm looking for are water worlds, terraformable worlds, and Earth-like worlds. Which, so far in this run, I've found 2 terraformable water worlds. So, those are worth a fair amount. I don't have typical... trade runs. Less than 20 light years. So that we can do it in one jump. We look for plague systems that are in need of basic medicines, which can be bought very cheap and then sold for a huge profit, because we are big space pharma. But that is by far the most profit I've ever made in any trade runs. So we do single jumps, and you can easily make 5,000 or more credits profit per ton, which in the ship that I'm using, an Imperial Cutter, means you're making upwards of 3 million credits a round trip, which is a tidy bit of profit. Yeah, there's a system in the game called the Universal Cartographer that is who you sell your data, your trade data to, or exploration data to. Oh, there is something good in this system. There it is. Another Waterworld. Excellent. That's what we're here for. Haven't found an Earth-like world yet, so I don't know where they show up on the spectrum, but it's probably pretty close to the same place as Waterworlds. I have not yet run into any of the new anomalies that they've added to the game, as far as like lightning nebulas or whatever other weird things they've added for you to find. I haven't landed on any new planets, so I haven't run into any of the weird volcanic activity that you can run into. Because for now I'm just doing basic exploration. I haven't gone into detailed exploration on landable worlds yet. I probably will try to land on at least a couple of worlds while I'm out here. The risk is, of course, damaging your ship on weird planets, because gravitational anomalies are a thing, and you land harder than you want and you do damage to your ship, and then you're in trouble because you're in the middle of space. What are you going to do? Luckily, I did bring repair limpets, and I did bring a repair suite, so I should be able to repair just about any damage that I sustain. Alright, where's my water world? There you are. We're going to do a surface scan. Take a close look at this. All right, what have we all been saying? Good night, Acklord. This one can do 50 light years is the maximum jump range that it has. I could optimize it for a longer jump range, but I optimized it for more interesting exploration. So, and for risky exploration. So I do have a repair suite and a repair limpets, and I do have a rover, and I do have shields. All of which, if I got rid of, would allow for a longer jump range. And I technically could jump farther if I, you know, hit a neutron star and scooped off of it. Alright, surface scan complete. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Is terraformable, pristine reserves. Cool. I'm well. Hello in Germany. His pet facehugger Eustace? Nerf Squad Alpha? Sure. What do we got? There you are. All right. On to the next system. This will be my last one for the night. I am playing Elite Dangerous, as the name on the video would suggest. Foam Blaster LARP. I will definitely have to take a look because I would love to see the footage of me trouncing Brett. Got a good system here. We scooping? We're scooping. Okay. Forgot to bookmark my Waterworld. I like to keep track of all the actual interesting systems I've found. Alright. Fortunately, there's not going to be one in this system. Yeah, that would work. I highly recommend, as you're saving up, go for the general purpose ships, the ASP. Once you get the money, they're not terribly expensive. They've got good cargo space. They're great for exploration. This was not an undiscovered system. But they didn't bother to discover everything, so... somewhere. There he is. All right. That's it. I'm going to stay here. Where am I? I am out in the middle of nowhere. Not quite halfway to... I'm a little over halfway to where my previously explored areas. Yes, Tacoma. Good night, everybody, or good morning, depending on where on Earth you are. Hopefully tomorrow I will actually be productive. I got very little done today, and it was everything I ever believed it could be. Thanks for watching. See you next time.